Hey, how
Hey,
you
Darrick.
doing?
How you doing,
Good.
Derek?
Good.
Uh,
How's everybody doing?
good,
Great.
good. We're
Glad to
good.
have you.
This is my friend Rob. We do the show together,
Hey,
and
Rob, how you doing?
I'm
we've
doing
been.
great, Derek. So glad for you to join us, and great, and very much looking forward to pick your brain and hear what you have to say.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
So, what did you think about this tournament, Derek?
I like the tournament. I thought it was very competitive. A lot of people said a lot of things about the so-called blue bloods not being in,
Well, we were.
and yeah, and I thought it showed, and I hope it showed young kids that you do not have to go to these big schools to showcase yourself or develop your brand, so to speak. Now, that's what you hear a lot of times now. Kids are concerned about their brand, that you can go to other schools, have success, and that scouts and will be able to find you. So that's what I took away from it and enjoyed it. I thought it was very competitive. It was fun to watch.
Well, you know what my dad used to say. Uh, you always, a lot of times, the great players come from little schools, even back then.
Mhm.
And and I guess what he taught me from that is, if you can play, you can play. You're
You
gonna
can
get
play. You
looked.
can play.
You're gonna get
Exactly.
looked at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I agree with that.
yeah. So,
You think that would constitute a threat, though, to the blue bloods? Like UCLA, Syracuse, Kentucky, Duke, Carolina. If the talent starts spreading out, it might hurt them, right?
Yeah, I think it would. But it's you have to change with the times. You have to be able to evolve as a coach. And I think and it's not going to be said, but I think one of the reasons why Roy Williams left is because he couldn't evolve. He was stuck in coaching a certain way, and that's not the way the game is right now. So he probably figured it's time for him to move on. And I
well,
don't think he just got tired. I think he realized he couldn't evolve as a coach and be able to connect to the kids these days in the manner that he needed to continue to get the high end kids. So
well,
yeah, definitely, I think it will hurt the Blue Bloods.
well, he did pretty well though. With his all way. I mean, they won it there. He won it there.
Yeah, they did good, but times are changing. Kids want to know, is there somebody on your staff that can help me get to the next level? That's what they're concerned about. And him having Hubert Davis on his
Right,
staff was really good
right,
because Hubert Davis is a former NBA player. So
right.
that
The
always
Knicks.
boded well for him. And I just think you have to have that with kids now because that's what they really, really want. And I think the NBA is going back to where kids can come in at 18 now or 17 earlier. And
Right,
that's going to change a whole lot of stuff too, also.
right.
So
You
yeah,
know,
that begs the. Oh, sorry, Bob.
that's okay. So I mean, do you think, like, when you say change, you mean like the down low is going away and the 3-point line's coming in, and that's what he's having trouble adjusting to?
No, I just think kids are looking for a different thing. Kids are not trying to stay in college for 4 years. They're
Right.
and whereas, say, just for my era, and I was talking with someone the other day, um, you were coming in thinking you're going to probably be there at least 3 years if you
Yeah.
were really good, and then
Yeah.
go to the NBA. And then if not, if you weren't really talented, then you're definitely going to be there for 4 years. A lot of these kids are coming in just trying to play 1 year, and the 1 year typically equates to one semester just to
Right.
stay eligible, and then they're done. And probably for an older coach that's used to coaching kids for a period of time, that's different. It's very different.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll see how. I mean, I don't know how good Hubert Davis is going to be. He's never coached before. I know he was an assistant, but you know, I
I
mean,
think he'll do well. I think he'll do well. He's been there for a period of time. He's seen how the program runs, and North Carolina, um, Duke, UCLA,
yeah, they're going to get kids.
Kentucky, they're going to get kids just on
Right.
their names. It runs itself. Where you're going to see if he can coach or not is how the kids develop, and that's going to be kind of hard too. I've coached at St. John's, and understanding the rules, you're limited a certain amount of time with the kid to help him develop, which I think is ridiculous. And I'm gonna say this on the record: the
Right.
crookedest crooks and the biggest mafia, there is the NCAA.
Uh-oh.
By
Controversy strikes the
far,
show.
by far. You know, they pay their execs upwards of $8 million and what have you. The kids can't make any money. They're limited to this. They can't work. Everything, every building that's built typically at a school, a university, is off the backs of athletics. Kids earning the money, bringing it into the school, and for them not to be able to be compensated in any way, even in the current thing that they passed, that the kids can make money off the likenesses. I bet the NCAA is just so upset that they have to do that.
Wow.
They are upset, and it's been a long time coming. So,
so you're definitely for the kids getting some kickbacks.
absolutely, they should be.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And if you could wave that magic wand and institute the changes you see as necessary, what are they? What does that look like? What does the Darrick Martin's new world in the NCAA look like?
One, kids ought to be able to just get compensated. There should be a stipend, and I do believe it should be kind of scaled on kind of what your sport is bringing in. And I know that's probably going to be create a little controversy also too, but you know, I dated or was married to a volleyball player at UCLA who did really good. She won 2 national championships, and I would tease her all the time. They wanted to use Pauley Pavilion to practice after us. We played, and she would say, "Darrick, come on, you got to hurry up and finish." And sometimes I would tease her and stay there and shoot. And when I knew they were waiting to come in, and so they would say, "Hey, go get Darrick off the court." So she'd come home. She's like, "Darrick, we're going to practice." I said, "Okay, yeah." And I keep shooting. Right. And my point was, sweetheart, I understand you guys need to practice. You bring in 2,000 fans. We bring in 17,000 fans.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a little difference, you know.
Right.
So I think you have to scale the stipends that you get out, and I believe all athletics, men's and women, should get stipends, but you're going to have to put it on a scale. Otherwise,
but isn't that like that with any bit? That's like that with any business. If you're better,
absolutely,
you're going to get paid more, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Well,
it's nothing different than what we have in the normal world in the business.
Right. Any job, right?
And that sounds like that could actually reinforce the power of the Blue Bloods. Okay, they bring all that money in, and so the ratio helps pay more for those players. So those really top end talent, they're going to be drawn to the Blue Bloods that pay more.
Yeah, I know, and it kind of is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Right. But if you go to a smaller school and you can showcase your talents, say, I give you an example. Yeah. When I was in college, Terrell Brandon played at Oregon. He didn't go to any of the bigger schools. Ended up having a great career because he was at Oregon. The ball was in his hands all the time. He really got to showcase his talents. Whereas if he would have been at a bigger school, he may have had to share that spotlight with other players. Thus, he gets drafted in the first round, goes on to have a great career. So, you know, it can work out for you being at a smaller school.
Right. I mean, yeah, well, thanks for being controversial. I think our show either going to be number 1 tomorrow or we're going to be off the air. It's going to be it.
Number 1, Bob. Aim for the stars.
Aim for the stars. That's right. So tell us about your career. And you were not drafted, right?
No, I didn't get drafted.
But you
my senior year, yeah, before I ran out for my first game, Coach Eric told me that I wasn't going to play much that game or that year. Right. And it's still unbeknownst to me why that was the decision made. So I wasn't able to get drafted. I wasn't able to get a tryout or anything after my senior year because he had sort of badmouthed me to other teams or what have you. Then I reached out to Magic Johnson, played on his tour team for about a year and a half, went through the CBA, played for great coach Flip Saunders, may he rest in peace.
Right.
And then eventually went on to the NBA, and things kind of took off for me there. So it was definitely truly a blessing, the path that I took, because now with my training business, I'm able to talk to kids and share my experience with them. And it really helps them keep things in perspective. whether they're on a path to go straight up or they're struggling a little bit going on a winding road. I can speak to both paths, and it's really cool. It's really cool to help and give back to others about my experience.
Well, that's about that with everything in life. You
Mhm.
always got to give back. You always got to
Yeah.
remember, that's really important. So you were with Magic Johnson on his team? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a
On
tour
one of his
team
teams?
that we went around the world and played, and we did it for about a year and a half, all over Europe, Argentina, and it was a great experience. And it was really good for me because I got a chance to learn what it meant to play point guard in the NBA at the highest level
Mhm.
from who I consider probably the best player ever to play in the NBA and Magic Johnson.
Can you get him on my show?
We'll
That'll help us a
see.
whole
We'll
lot.
work. We'll work on that.
That'll help us a whole lot.
So it was good. I got a
Yeah.
chance to
Yeah.
sort of reset, refocus, and it really catapulted me into being able to play 13 years in the NBA.
Right. That's awesome. Who's your favorite NBA team to play on?
Wow, that would. I enjoyed playing for the Clippers because it was at home
Yeah,
in front of friends and family every night
sure.
during that time. Um, Probably had the most fun with the team in Sacramento with C. Webb, Vlade, Peja, Turkoglu, Jay Williams.
That team was really good,
Good
actually.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then appreciated it's over 3 stages, I guess, for me, and then appreciated it so much when I got to Toronto with Chris Bosh because I walked into the room and I was all of a sudden the old guy in the room
No.
and
Right.
had to mentor him, Chris Bosh, Chris Humphreys, Jose Calderon, and those guys, and it was really cool. So to be able to play that long and then sort of have, in my opinion, sort of 3 different stages in my career was really cool.
That's really, really great. I remember the one time I took a friend to come see you, and he didn't believe me. I go, no, I really know him. And
Mhm.
you gave me the tickets and the passes at the Garden, and
Uh-huh.
he goes, well, where is he? I'm like, we go down now, and I ran down, and I waved to the Garden. The guard goes, no, you come here, and I'm like, okay. And there was this girl writing something on, she was like on the scores table, and I go, is Darrick Martin here? I know him. And the girl ran up and go, you know Darrick? I'll go get him. And you came out. And my friend was like, he was like, huh? He couldn't believe it. And he went back to his friends. He goes, every word he said was true.
Nice.
That is
Very
a true.
good.
That is a true story.
Good.
And I know you always took care of me whenever they came in. And you helped me meet Dirk. Actually, you were with Dirk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was there. And so you took care of me that night. And did you play with Carter, Vince,
No, I didn't play
and
with Vince.
McGrady? Okay. Okay, you didn't play with those guys. But every time you came in, I loved it, and I love seeing you. You always. Rob asked me before you came on, what was your best memory of him? I go, when he was at UCLA, he would always come up to the family, say hello, and have that smile on his face.
Yeah.
And we loved it. Go, Speen, you're here. I go, yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
You know,
Your brother's my man, man.
Oh yeah,
Tony
we
was good. Well, he knows
yeah.
where all the body buried. He let us sneak in and out every now and then on the road trip. He's like, okay, you have to be back in an hour.
You're gonna get him in trouble when somebody sees this.
Tony was my guy. He's like,
oh,
okay.
I definitely will. You know, everybody loves to talk to him, and everybody says the same thing. They love him. Larry Farmer was on. He was, when's he gonna write the book? I wanted to write a book.
Yeah, me too.
I go.
He actually texted me about 2 weeks ago. He said, "You guys should write a book." I said, "Absolutely."
Yes, write the book, Tony.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But he actually, like, Coach Wooden asked him to write a book, and he said yes, but he still hasn't done it. And I'm like, when Coach tells you to do it, you might want to do it.
You might want to do it, exactly.
You might want to do it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll keep encouraging him to do that.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us about the UCLA team with Don, Tracy, and Mitchell.
It was a great team.
That was a great team. I don't know how you guys didn't win.
And I have my reasons why we didn't win, or reason, but I won't completely go into it.
Okay.
So what was that reason?
Well,
no, Rob. Wow.
We all kind of grew up together, playing in the same on the same AAU team with Rich Goldberg, who's a really good guy, ARC, and so we always had an advantage over schools because we had been playing together since we were 13, 14, 15.
Sure.
So by the time we got to UCLA, it was just like, riding a bike. We knew what each other was going to do, and it was really fun to play all together from that time with AAU, and then able to play that time in college together. And yes, we probably should at least won one national championship with all the talent that we had.
My brother says it all
Things
the time.
just didn't, things just didn't go the way that it should have. And I guess I'll kind of leave it at that.
What might have been, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and every now and then we'll text each other. We play golf with each other quite a bit, and so we'll sit there and just reflect a little bit on not having one, and we should have definitely had one. At
Do
least
the
one.
losses are they burned into your memory, and do they flash into your mind around the regular?
Periodically, yes, they do, and it always happens typically around the tournament time for me, and I reflect on our games that we played in the tournament, if the teams that we lost to, that we felt we could have beat, and so it's fun. It's not just a bad memory; it's a fun memory because it was a fun time in my life, and being at UCLA, I enjoyed it immensely. My experiences I had there, the friends I've met, going to school there, it was a huge blessing. So I'm very thankful for that time.
Right.
Is there anything better than playing in the tournament?
No, only, and you guys are gonna really laugh.
Mhm.
Only thing that probably would compare to that is playing in Madison Square Garden.
There you go.
Oh wow, okay. The Garden.
That's only because I was there watching you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That's why.
That was always the game I wanted to try to make sure I got enough sleep. Didn't eat a whole lot of pasta the night before, and was ready to go. Because it's nothing like being in the Garden.
Right.
It is.
You're right.
You get chills going up the old elevator till you get to the top, and then it opens and you pull it up, and you're in the Garden, and it's you see the pictures on the wall of all the performers that have performed there, and then you walk out onto the floor. It's just it's very amazing. It gives you chills.
It does. For all the times I went to the Meadowlands when the Nets played there, there was nothing like going to a game at the Garden, even just sitting there. Even watching it on TV when I was a little kid, I was a Celtic fan growing up, and I can hear those fans screaming, and I got scared in the living room because I don't know how my favorite players didn't get scared because I was petrified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there is something about it. You're absolutely right.
The Garden is special.
So Darrick, who when you play collegiately, professionally, etc., was your greatest nemesis? The team that boiled your blood the most, that you really just wanted to get that pelt the most?
Probably in college was Arizona, because I got recruited by them.
Lou Olson,
and yeah, right. And some of the guys, Chris Mills went there, who's a LA kid, a few other kids, and so Duke, they recruited me also too.
Really?
So probably those two I was really anxious to play, and then also any other East Coast team, because it's such, the media is such East Coast bias.
That's what I said.
Yeah, we had a chance.
My brother and I talked about that.
Yeah, Pittsburgh at the time at UCLA, and they had Sean Miller and that group, and they had a really good team. And I think I remember the score was like 115-80. We really blew them out, and yes, and we were waiting for them. I mean, we were waiting for them so we can make a statement. So, in the NBA, I enjoyed, like I said, I always enjoyed playing the Knicks, and I really enjoyed playing the Lakers because that was my team that I grew up watching, and I was a huge Laker fan. So, I think my first couple of years they were still playing in the Forum, and I can remember when I was little going to the Forum and trying to sneak in, and then on a little team that we got tickets to go to the game. Yeah, trying to playing. We played at halftime of a game, a Laker game, and everything. So those two teams were probably the teams that I really got up excited to play the most.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand. I mean, the Knicks are a big name. The Lakers are the Lakers,
Mhm.
So did now you were drafted by Duke. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I was recruited by Duke, Arizona. My final was Duke, Arizona, uh, Las Vegas, and UCLA. Those were my final four.
Well, you were All American, right?
Yes, McDonald's All
McDonald's All
American.
American,
Uh
right?
huh.
hmm
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what? You were a really good player too. What's this thing about Domino? They called you that in Sacramento because you had a three.
No, I don't know where they got that from, but
What's that about?
someone else asked me that. I've never been called that, so I don't know where they
I
got
heard
that
that.
name. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know where they got that name.
I remember, didn't you hit a big three? I don't know if it was was it in Arizona to
Yeah,
beat them at
I
the end of a game?
broke the streak,
You
72
broke
game
the
win streak.
streak. I remember that. I was
Yeah,
so happy that
yeah,
night.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember that.
Wait, what
That
Yeah.
happened?
was my senior year. Arizona had a 72 game home winning streak,
On winning streak.
and again, I hadn't been playing a whole lot that year. For whatever reason, Coach Eric decided, and then I happened to be we were playing in Arizona, playing well, and last few seconds of the game, and they had drawn up a play for the ball to go to Don McLean, and at this point, all I heard was elevator music because I was not passing the ball to Don McLean. I was going
Oh
to take
man.
this
Oh man.
take this shot, and fortunately, it went in. It was a nice little runner going to my left, broke the streak, and
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
one of my great moments in my career.
Yeah, absolutely. I called my book. We won. We won.
And everyone in that arena hates UCLA to this day.
To this day.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's the one school that they are cheer the loudest for against when
Oh, they were
UCLA
going
goes
nuts
to
when that buzzer beater hit.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Miller got fired the other day. What do you think about
I
that?
did see that. I did
Right.
see that.
Right.
You don't ever wish bad on someone, but for me, in the context of where we are now, right now with social justice and everything,
Yeah.
I wonder if a black coach would have been able to last as long as Sean Miller did with the different violations that were reoccurring.
Mhm.
And I give you an example: Todd Bozeman. I don't know if you remember that name
Oh
from
yeah, of
Cal.
course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Got into
He was Jason Kidd's coach, was he not?
yes, he
Yeah.
got into some minor trouble, what have you, and has never recovered or got a second chance
Really?
at coaching. Yes, and that's very, very unfortunate for him. And so that's what it means to me. I always try to weigh um, if a black coach would have done the same thing, would he have been given the same leeway? And that's unfortunate. And I like Sean. When I was coaching at St. John's, he and I would have a conversation. We talked about the game. We played against each other in Pitt. It's just I'm looking for bigger changes because there are so many more other qualified black coaches that need opportunities and should be getting opportunities. And I hope it continues to change, we continue to move forward as a society.
Do you know of the rising stars amongst the black coaches that probably deserve a shot at the big time?
Well, I think if you look on any of the assistant coaches over the years that have been, I can remember seeing the guy's face right now, just the guy from Kansas. There's a black coach from Kansas. I know he's been there for at least 15, 20 years. He's never mentioned. So if you can just go down the line on a lot of the blue blood and big universities staffs and see coaches that have been there 10, 15 years that should be given an opportunity to interview for any of these jobs that are vacant and come open. And then I would like to know what the qualification is, why you hired a guy. The funny thing is right now,
I would like to know that about a lot of coaches.
Yeah, exactly. That what they're doing and no one really talks about is they hire search firms. The reason I believe they hire search firms is so they can take give the responsibility to someone else. And if it goes wrong, they can say this search firm hired the guy or recommended the guy. instead of the AD taking responsibility and sitting down man to man with 5 or 6 different candidates and conducting an interview like used to be done. That's what should happen. Analytics and numbers and what have you, I think in a lot of the sports, other than baseball, is ruining the sports.
Oh, no. It's ruining baseball too. I love
Okay.
baseball. You don't get it. No, I hate the 100 pitch count. That thing should go die somewhere.
Okay. I like baseball, I like watching, but I don't know as much about baseball as I do to other sports. But
I'll call you one day. We'll go over the whole thing.
Analytics is the worst thing,
yeah.
I think.
Yes.
It gives jobs to people who can just crunch numbers who actually don't even understand the sport.
Yeah. They don't. That's what my brother said. They never put on sneakers.
Is it a quad 1 or a quad 2 win?
Yeah, exactly. When I started hearing that,
it was a quad 1, but now it's a quad 2, but it's a quad 1 again.
Yeah, it changes. I'm like, what is that? That makes no sense. Win or lose. It's
There's a famous quote. It's called paralysis by analysis. It sounds like you recognize that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know what it is, Darrick. You can have so many stats in front of you that you can confuse yourself and talk yourself. You only, for every 10 stats, I say, and this is ironic, 2 are good, chuck the other 8. Use the rest, use this.
Exactly.
Weirdly enough, an analytics guy went for every 10 stats, 8 are good and 2. I go, you should be fired immediately. Because like that is so crazy. You could, they say stats are the biggest liars. They can twist it. You can twist them any way you want to make it justify it. Yeah, that's right.
And you think you sound smart, or something. You sound smart to other people. I remember I was I was coaching, and the guy says, the stat guy comes in. I think I was in Minnesota with Kurt Rambis. He says, "Here you go. Here's the updated stats on the guys, the team you ran play." I said, "Okay, I'm watching film." They said, "Yeah, but the stats will help you watch film." I said, "The stats are going to help me watch the film?" Is that what you said to me?
Interesting.
I said,
the stats are running around, jumping, and shooting the ball.
Yes. I said, okay. I said, I can't remember the guys. I said, okay, let's check this out. I said, look, I've been playing this game since I was 3. I played 13 years in the NBA.
There you go.
I know what I'm looking for. So let's try this. Give the stats or the analyst or whatever you got to all the other coaches. Don't come back down to my office ever with any analytic stuff, because I'm watching film and I don't need a stat to tell me this guy goes right 80% of the time when I'm watching a film and I see he goes right 80% of the time. Right. I don't need any paperwork to tell me that. I said, I'm not into it. I'm not into the analytics. So,
and I got to tell you, I think it's going to take brave people to stand up and stop this nonsense, because it's starting to catch on like it's a religion, and you just got to put your foot down and go, no, it's wrong. Yes. Like the guy's getting killed. I think you can take him out of the game now. Yeah. It's like my brother says, these guys never even put on sneakers in their life.
No, they didn't.
Who are these brainiacs? Where do they come from?
This guy, I was like, what do you do? He said, I'm the analyst guy. I said, okay. What is that? So he was telling me what it is. I said, okay. So I'm confused because I'm looking at this guy and he's got on a shirt, team shirt, team issue, and it doesn't even fit. It's hanging off him the wrong way. I'm like, bro, I know you've never shot the ball one time in your life, and you're going to tell me about how to do basketball?
Right.
No, that's okay. That's all right, man. Go to the other coaches. I'm good. I don't want to hear it.
Right. Mike Sosha, the ex-manager of the Angels, and my brother are really good friends. And he said that there were times where, he didn't want to take the pitcher out of a game, but he got a call from upstairs. The analytics guy told the GM to tell him to take him out because it's time to come out. And he would take him out and they would lose the game.
And they lose the game. It's the most ridiculous thing.
It really,
that's why I said it's really affecting. Yeah, it really is affecting baseball, because that's how the people are managing. Okay. A couple times I've watched a couple baseball games, and this guy's striking out everybody. All right. His pitch count is at 80. He can only go 80. I said, well, oh no, look, he keeps striking out everybody.
He can go for the next 80 days and be fine.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And they take the pitcher out, and sure enough, the guy that comes in to replace him gives up a home run or gives up a hit.
If you only knew, Darrick, I've been watching that game since I was a little kid, and I hate the Yankees. And the Yankees used to wait. because back then there wasn't all this analytics, but the Yankees were pre-analytics. They knew that if you took the guy out that was going great, they're going to kill the next guy. And that was the end result. It's the same thing here. You know, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Pooh Richardson brought up on this show, as it pertains to basketball, the load management concept. I guess a player, if he plays 1 second over 5 minutes, it's bad for him or something.
Yeah, it's just, that's load management. Yeah, Pooh's right. It's ridiculous.
Like, what?
Load management?
He's on a roll. He's hot. You just yank him?
You gonna take him out? I've seen that too. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You're gonna take the guy out? He just hit 8 in a row.
Eight in a
you're
row.
gonna take him out because of load management.
Gotta follow the formula.
Yeah, exactly.
The equation says.
Yeah.
All you have to do is look at the Dodgers last year, because Snell was on a roll with Tampa Bay in that World Series, and they just yanked him out of the game. And you can see the Dodgers in the bench going, "Oh, thank you," because they couldn't hit him.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember that because I'm a big Dodger fan, so they took the guy. I was like, man, he's dealing the thing. They took him out. I said, oh wow, I can't believe they made that decision.
That pitcher was plenty annoyed too, and then they eventually traded him to San Diego. He's in San Diego now with the Padres.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So analytics is bad.
And you know what? It's bad in basketball too, because if you think about it, I mean, look, I still think that the game is still one down low. I know nobody plays it that way no more, but let's be real. You're a point guard. You got a 5-on-1. Why are 3 of the 5 guys pulling up from 3? What's that about?
Wait a minute. I saw this. This
What's
was
that
Denver about a week ago. Someone posted it on social media.
Yeah.
So they're on a 3-on-1.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
And both the guys on the wing run to the corner.
Right.
They are down 1 point. This is for game. This is like with 5 seconds left. They run to the 3-point line for the win. All you have to do is catch it and lay the ball up. They run to the corner and shoot. The guy passes, he shoots a 3, and they lose. And I'm laughing. I was like, this got to be a hoax. I can't believe they are running to the corner. You're down 1 for game.
I can.
You can pay me $50,000 to miss that shot. Sign me up all day.
Right. You're down 1 and you're running to the 3 for game. All you have a 2-point layup wins. I said, "Oh my goodness."
And I'll tell you what, Darrick. It's been going on way too long, and everybody thinks they're Steph Curry that they can make, and you're like, then the analytics guy kicks in. Well, they're making 40%. Well, they're missing 60. How about that?
Yeah.
Where if you're making a layup, that's about a 90% chance, 95% chance it's going in.
Right.
And like when I watched Michigan play UCLA at halftime, I think Michigan was 3 of 15 from 3.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, but if they go to the basket, that's 10 of 15, maybe even 12. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden that's a plus 12, or that's what people are forgetting. Right. And the question they never ask is, how many times do the teams have leads and just start chucking threes and end up losing the game and the momentum? Everything swings against you.
Houston Rockets was about 3 years ago.
Yeah. 3 for 22 for the game.
3. Yes, exactly.
And then they were sitting there going, why did we lose? Oh, gee, I have no idea. And they just and you know what's funny? The game before that was Game 7, Cleveland against Boston, and I'm a Celtic fan, so that was the one where Tatum dunked on LeBron. You know that one.
Mm-hmm.
But we were winning that game midway through the second, and we just said, I got a great idea. Instead of keep doing what we're doing and keep expanding the league, let's just chuck and take them out of the game. Well, they were taken. Yeah, somebody did get taken out. They did. They just started missing.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So harken back to, you were talking about the evolution of the game. So as someone who you seem to have your pulse on that, what foresight do you have of what changes are going to come in the next 5-10 years that you can see?
Basically, when I hear, I think they're going to probably try to move the 3-point line back a little bit, and try to maybe not. I guess I don't know if discourage is the right word, or just put a premium on it. I think they're going to try to do that. I do know the NBA wants to continue the scoring uptick that has been going on, because I think fans like it, they enjoy it, which is fine. But I think they're going to make the 3-point line even a more premium by moving it back a little bit, which that's fine. I'm okay with that because I think it creates more space. And so now by creating that space, if you have a few guys that can hit that shot, now it opens up more down low where guys are starting to play more in mid range. Guys are starting to maybe post up a little more because it's not as many guys who can shoot three if you move it back a little bit. Although they're shooting it from deep, you got a few guys.
They are.
Dame Dollar, Steph, and
I mean, just ask the Gonzaga guy that beat UCLA.
Yeah,
but you know what? You know what? They're in a backward way. Maybe that's not a bad idea because that will open up the game to be played the right way again.
Yeah,
like
maybe
it was once played in a backward way. Because I mean, if not, they're just going to keep running and chucking and running and chucking.
Yeah,
because what you got to remember when the 3-point line got in the NBA from the ABA, it was a premium because everybody knew how to play the game the proper way, and they only used it when absolutely necessary, when you needed it, and every player seemed to know when that moment was. Now everybody thinks I'm going to be on ESPN, and I'm going to chuck a three. One's going to go.
Yeah,
we're going to lose by 100, but I'm going to look good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But if that's what it takes, then yeah, fine.
Yeah. I think it's going to keep evolving. The game's going to keep evolving. I really like Adam Silver as a commissioner, and I didn't have him when I was playing. I had David Stern. I thought David Stern did an amazing job, and I think Adam Silver's picked it up and continued to move the game in the right direction. So I think he's probably always considering how can I keep the game evolving. Yeah,
I got to ask you. You were on the Globetrotters. What was that like?
Oh. That was it was cool. It was not like what everybody seems to always think. Like they had a team that we played exhibitions against, and then they had a team that did all the tricks and everything. So I was on the team that did the exhibitions. So I played against Michigan State.
Yeah, you were in that game against Michigan State after they won the title?
Yeah, I played against them. I ended up having I want to say I had 36 against them.
Wow.
And had a few words with Coach Izzo. He was yelling at, I think Shannon Brown was the guy at the time that was at Michigan State. And he was like, hey, you can't guard those guys. So I told him in so many words, bring your little butt out here. You can't guard me either.
I saw Syracuse play the Globetrotters the year after we won the title. Were you on that team?
Yeah, I think I played in that game. Yeah,
you guys won by like 17.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
They should do that again. That was great when the Globetrotters played those exhibitions. It was entertaining, and they were good, and they could compete. You guys were good.
Yes, yeah. They played good. And then whenever they did the tricks and stuff, I would sit on the side and just kind of watch. I was a fan too. So, but they tried to implement me to do the different things. I said, no, that's not me. That's not what I do.
Right.
I play for real. So.
Yeah, great players on that team. You play with Cedric Ceballos, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jabbar was a real player too, and he plays with the Washington Generals against them and roasts them. And then somebody afterward was, you weren't supposed to win that one.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's great.
That is true. So what are you doing now?
I have a training business with Mitch Butler. So
you doing
Legacy West.
You doing the agency?
No, basketball training for kids.
Okay.
Nice. And it's legacywest.com. And we train kids from 7 years old up to high school kids, so probably about sophomore in high school.
That's awesome.
And we've been doing really good. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's not just the basketball training, but it's also mentoring and talking to the kids about different things. So it's really cool. Mitch and I are enjoying it and having a good time. I have a 7-year-old little guy, and he keeps me young. And I get a chance to spend more time with him by just being local all the time. So it's really cool.
LegacyWestBasketball.com, folks. Link will be provided in the description.
We had Mitchell on and Toby on, and one thing I gather from you guys, you really care about the players and the kids, and I mean, that's really, really great. I mean,
it's very important. And like I said, the road or the path I was on with my career, when you're in the middle of it, it's uncomfortable. You don't like it. You look at it as not necessarily fair, but at 50, I can reflect on all the things I went through, and I can help someone else and pass it on.
Right.
And that's really, really cool to me. And I get a lot of satisfaction from that by being able to say, hey, okay, if it doesn't work, plan A, it doesn't work, then, let's have a plan B, and we'll figure it out, and let's do this and let's do that. Because there's different ways for you to get to your ultimate goal. So that's really cool. I'm enjoying that.
That's awesome. That's really,
great.
really great. So do you want to be a coach in the league in the future or no?
I there's a lot of things now that has changed with the game that's not for me. That I don't want to. It's just not me. It's just, and I'll leave it at that. It's just a lot of things that have started to change and happen with the game. It's not me. So I'm enjoying the teaching of the kids and doing that and spending more time with my son. So I'm fine where I am right now. I'm not actively looking or wanting to be back coaching in the NBA or in college.
Well, that's really awesome what you're doing for the kids. There's no doubt, and I'm really glad you're happy with what you're doing. That's really important.
Thank you.
Darrick, is there anything else you want to share with the audience?
No, that you two are great interviewers, and
appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment.
Thank you.
Amazing time doing this, and Bob, man, I can remember the days, man, coming to the Garden, man.
I so miss you. I really, really do. And I got to tell you, all you UCLA guys were great to me. I mean, you know what Pooh said? He goes, Speen, I used to get you tickets. Next thing I know, you're on the court. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
I'm like,
still trying to figure it out.
I go, Pooh, don't worry. Your tickets were better than you thought. They were in better section.
Rob, I would look up and I see him too. I was like, hey, my man's down here. He got front row. He's here.
Front row, hanging out with the players, talking to the players' parents, talking to the GM. I'm like, who is this guy? What's going on here?
I remember a couple of times people say, man, who's that? I said, oh, that's my man. He's good. That's my man.
He's got this.
I got to tell you too, and we really should, I should mention Jack Haley because Jack was Mr. UCLA. He was Mr. Best friend. When I first met him, he goes, hey, Bob. He was with the Nets. That was great.
Yeah.
So he was with the Bulls on a 72-win team. He always took care of
right.
him. But he called me out on the court and he goes, you want my autograph? I go, no, I want your phone number. I want tickets. And he went, oh, yeah. And I kid you not, he did it for like 15 years. We went the Nets had dinner one night. And he goes, you coming to the dinner? I go, I'm not a Net. And he goes, you're Mr. Meadowland. You can come. It's okay.
Nice. That was Jack. Jack was a great guy.
Jack. He was so fun. I love him. I'm thinking about doing a show just about him. Because I owe him so much.
Yeah. Jack, that would be good.
Great guy.
He was a very good guy. Great guy.
He was a great guy.
Great guy. Yeah.
You all were. You still talk to Don MacLeod?
No, I don't. I don't keep in touch with Don too much. Usually it's Tracy, Mitch, Trevor Wilson, Pooh.
Trevor's going to come on. I asked Tracy last year. He said he was going to come on, but we didn't have this kind of a setup. And is he still working at UCLA? Is he?
Yes. Yeah, Tracy will do it. Tracy will do it. We'll do
it. We're trying to get him on.
Derrick, you got an open invite anytime.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Maybe next time we can do it when I got my little man. And
bring on in.
Totally, bring him on.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Bring him on.
He'll enjoy it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Derrick, you stay peaceful now, okay?
Okay, you guys.
Anything else to share? You can stay longer if you want. But
No. I'm good. I got to get to train the kid. So
all right. Good luck.
I got a kid as well. Thanks, guys.
Take care,
Darrick.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, that was a great show, Bob. A lot to say. We had a little controversy, stirred the pot a little bit. Darrick Martin definitely has
as soon as people see
a
this
lot of things.
We better check YouTube after this one because make sure we're still on.
Yeah. So hopefully YouTube doesn't know someone in the NCAA.
Yes. He did speak his mind a little, didn't he?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yes.
Well, that's it, folks. Stay tuned. We may round 2. We're looking at Jamal Smooth as Silk Wilkes later, and that should be great. Remember to like and subscribe. That's how we win the game.
That's how we win.
Anything else to say, Bob?
I just hope you guys all listen and like and subscribe, and we're trying to make this fun for all you guys and us too, and our guests. And so far, everybody's loved coming on. So I guess we're doing something right.
Stay tuned, folks. Signing off with the Sports Show.